So one of the most common questions that I get asked is what do you do about slugs and snails? And I've written a whole chapter in my book about how I cope with that on the allotment and in the back garden in general. What I wanted to talk about today was how I cope with it for my seedlings. So in general on the allotment, I actually do most of my seedling rearing on a hanging shelf that is pretty much impossible for slugs and snails to access because they'd have to climb all the way up the polytunnel and then kind of cut down some wires and whatever. Now obviously I can't do that in the back garden, but I can do the next best thing. So I thought I'd just show you how I raise seedlings in the garden. So this is a terrible location to rear seedlings because all these pots and kind of brick walls and planters and things like that, and nooks and crannies, you're going to have slugs and snails in all of those locations. So how to keep this little table here free of slugs and snails? Well, water basically. So this table is on little legs. The little legs are supported on 2 screws which are screwed into the leg. Let's drill into the details there. And those screws are stood in these planting trays that are kept full of water. So basically there's no way for a slug or snail to get into these seedling trays unless they're in them already, which is a challenge. So make sure you inspect underneath the trays and underneath the inserts to make sure there's nothing there before you put them on the table. But once they're on there, they won't go across that water. Basically they'll drown. And the only other way is overhanging things. And you might think, well, there's not much overhanging here, but they will even come up this garlic, for example, and down that leaf. So take overhanging leaves off. And the same is true for ants and other sort of climbing insects. So that is pretty much it. Pretty simple. Works really well. Just don't stand the wooden legs in the water if you can help it. Otherwise the legs won't last very long. But this simple little table has worked well for me for many years. Just as a little double check, just in case you have got slugs and snails kind of hiding somewhere, I sometimes just put a little trap in here, lots of slug pellets, and just some old seedlings that are rejects now that I didn't need, and that is enough to kind of attract them in there. And if you find any dead ones, then you know that you've got a problem, but nothing in evidence there. So I hope you enjoyed this quick video. My name's Steve, this is the Seaside Kitchen Garden and Allotment channel, and I'll see you soon.